Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and thank you for clicking on the video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. I didn't do my intro this time with the music because this is just going to be a quick video that I want to talk about because we are coming up on the holiday season and tensions get high during the holiday season for some reason. So we are coming up on Thanksgiving this week, and then Christmas is just a few weeks away. Some say they're not celebrating Christmas, but we know there are going to be those who are going to celebrate Christmas, who always celebrate Christmas, and don't always do it in the right way. So this is a good time for us to start thinking about how we're going to behave when we go out in the public. Treating people with courtesy, common courtesy, and being polite is the bare minimum. You're not really doing anybody a favor by acting like a civilized human being. You know, there are times when there are disagreements when you're dealing with merchants and people in restaurants, at the post office. There are disagreements. Sometimes things just come up where there's a misunderstanding. It always helps to keep a level head and deal with things in a mature fashion. If somebody made a mistake, point out the mistake without yelling and screaming and name calling. You can resolve an issue a lot better just by keeping calm and saying, "Ma'am, you didn't give me my right change," or "Ma'am, this is not what I ordered," or "Ma'am, I want to make an exchange." And if they say you got to have the receipt in order to make the exchange, then you need to have the receipt. Or if they say you cannot get the money back, but you can make a fair exchange. If you didn't bring the receipt and then keep up with the receipt, that's the store's policy. The person at the cashier desk cannot change that policy. So we have to be mindful of these things. This is a mature way of dealing in the world. Now I'm going to show you a video of two black women involved in an altercation. One of them was working and one of them was a customer. I want to point out that this video is for educational purposes, to show people how not to behave when they're involved in a situation where there is a misunderstanding. There is a way to handle a situation and there is a way not to handle a situation. And handling the situation the right way makes all the difference. This is really sad behavior between two black women, two grown women. But one person was on her job and the other one was not. We cannot take for granted that just because you're a customer, you're right. You might be right, but you still might handle it the wrong way. So I want you to take a look at this video and tell me in the comment section what went wrong between these two and how it could have been handled better. So from my perspective, both of them were wrong in how they were handling the situation because they were yelling at each other. I couldn't make sense about what had happened or what the problem was. Clearly, the woman in the pink pants had a problem. The cashier was handling it by yelling, and the woman in the pink pants was yelling, and then the white man came and didn't seem to know what was going on. Now, if he was there to resolve the issue, he would have a hard time believing either one of them because, first of all, they were both screaming and yelling and accusing each other. So it's hard to get to the bottom of a problem when you can't even figure out what the problem is because the people are out of control. So the cashier got her phone and started recording. I'm not sure what that was all about because the manager apparently was there to resolve the issue. So I don't know how recording the incident would have helped. But people who record like that always think they're right. And they're going to show the other person up. See, I got it here on video. I videotaped it. So this is what she did. So that's the same as saying I'm right. And I've got it on tape to prove it. And then, as if the tension wasn't high enough, It escalated. So accusing the woman of calling her the B word was the last straw for her. So she threw that package down and stormed from behind that counter and switched on up outside, telling the woman to come on. She told her to come on, come outside, because she's ready to fight. Now, this encounter is deep in the heart of Negro shit. She's going to leave her job, which means that she's abandoning her position, challenging a customer to come outside to fight. Now, what is that going to look like when she gets ready to find another job? Because that's grounds for them to terminate her employment. First of all, she's dealing with an out of control black woman where she could have just said, ma'am, this is the store's policy, or ma'am, I'm going to get the manager. And when the manager came, she could have let the manager handle it. Instead, she loses her temper, loses control of herself, and then challenges a customer to a fight. Now, that is Negro stuff. You don't do stuff like that on your job. Because even if you were going to leave that job, you still need references when you go to another job. This is the system that we live in. Unless you're going to go out there and be great on your own, you're going to have to go to get a job somewhere else, and somebody's going to have to speak for you. Now, what is that manager going to say when somebody calls that store to ask him what kind of employee she is? Now, don't get me wrong, white people misbehave on their jobs too, but right now we're talking about black people. The customer wisely did not follow her outside, and probably for good reason, because that woman was mad and she knew what was getting ready to happen. It was entirely possible that she would have left that store with a good ass beating, but it looked bad on both of their parts. And that brings us to another very important point. You don't know when somebody is going to snap. A person could snap without being provoked, but they are more likely to snap when they are provoked. You just want to stand there and cuss and do a lot of cussing, but the other person might be on the verge of snapping. And just like that, you got a tragedy over nothing. Now, fortunately, in this situation, this woman did not have a lethal weapon. Neither one of them had a lethal weapon, and we count that for good. But these are two grown women who should know better than to behave like this. These two women both need to have anger management training, and the woman at the job needs to learn to lower her temper. When you're dealing with a customer and the customer is being unreasonable or becomes belligerent, then you call the manager or you calm down and say, ma'am, I'm trying to help you, but we can't resolve the situation if you're going to be yelling. You have to do something like that to tamp down the tempers, because that was the wrong. To me, both of them were in the wrong. But the one in the pink pants, now she's scared to go outside because she knew what was about getting ready to happen. She didn't come to fight. She just came to scream. So let's be mindful of how we behave when we go out in public, and not just at holiday season, all the time. We need to tamp it down. All of this arguing and bickering and fighting and name calling doesn't accomplish anything. And it makes all of us look bad. So anyway, y'all, I hope you could figure something out in the video. I couldn't really make heads or tail about it, but I do know that that's a situation that we need to look at and take a good look at ourselves and make sure that we are putting our best foot forward when we go outside. That's still a good way to behave in society. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening and have a good day. Let me know what you think about this video.